This is a piece of Georgetown. Yesterday I was doing a video on how to spall something thick. I said at least 4 inches thick and how to spall it down. And this is one of the spalls I knocked off of it, and I started thinning it down, and I run out of battery power. And I didn't get to finish it, so anyway, I got my battery charged up, and this is the next morning. I'm going to finish it out and work on thinning it down. And the tools I use is, I just can't, for some reason, have hard trouble convincing people these are the best tools you can use. Just about just a hollow piece of PCV pipe with just a hollow gas cap on the end of it and tape with electrical tape. Nothing inside of it. There's several videos on how to do it. Eddie Main has one on making hollow copper billets, and he's the one that, I don't know if he invented it. He's the only one I've ever heard of using it, and he got me to use it, and I kind of laughed at him when I first saw it, and then after I got to watching the work he was doing with it, I said, you know, it must be something to that, and I really like it. But anyway, we're going to finish this down real thin, if we can, without breaking it, and I'll take you through the steps. I don't know if this pen shows up. I hadn't even looked at the other video yet to see if it shows up. But anyway, this is the first step I'm going to make. I got a blue line right there, and I'm going to try to run it right through there. So I'm going to hit on this side straight down, kind of out. Trim right on the edge a little bit. Trying to get me a good platform for it. All right, I'll pick my grinder up, hit it 2 times, set it right there, and took it all out. Now I'm looking over here, and I got a ridge running right through here, but I also have a real low spot. So I'm gonna have to hit this way. I don't hit this way because it's gonna hinge over there. So I'm gonna have to angle my blow where to go down it. About a 45-degree across it, I guess I should say. So what we're doing is we're trying to, I'm looking at my video to see, we're trying to run right through here. I'll try to catch it, take it off, and let you see what happened. There's where it went. That turned out real good. Now, I got a little bad area right in here on the top. Got some cracks up here. You see all the little cracks. This is right at the edge of that rock. Had a bunch of little tiny cracks that they don't go deep at all. So I'm gonna already knock them off. Now I'm gonna round this up, make me a little isolated platform right here. And the reason I'm doing this is because when I knocked that flake that went so pretty across through there, that's the way it came out. I mean, it took a chunk out, but it left me a hinge here, so I'm gonna tap here and here and flush all of that out. Now I got it out there. It's low right here. I might go ahead and work on this side and then come back because it'd be higher there. And when I mean low, it's actually above the center line. So I'm gonna come over here where it's below the center line, and there's a little high spot here. I'm gonna take it out, and while I'm taking it out, it's gonna lower this platform, so when I turn it over, it'd be okay to try to get the other out. That came out good. I don't know if you paid any attention. I think I hit that maybe 4 times. I just thought about it. The first lick did what I wanted it to do. It took that spot out. But then I moved on down. I took 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. And I didn't grind it because you don't have to grind it with this. Use this method if you're just barely taking little pieces out. If you want to drive it a long ways, you need to grind it. But I come down here like this, and I don't want to grind it because I'm just taking little pieces out. And that's the kind of pieces it takes out. if I don't grind my edge, little pieces like this, shoot, I can't get my hand turned that way. But anyway, that's what comes out. Took me long enough to get it focused. Sorry about that. I was trying to hold 3 things in my hand at one time. Okay, we're gonna come down the base and thin it. It's another thing, not gonna grind it all. I'm just trying to take some little flakes out, and I don't want to hit too much pressure on that base. But basically what I'm doing, I'm just tapping down through here trying to get me a straight edge on it. Now I might lightly grind it at one time. And that thinned it pretty good. Still got a little high area right here. I'm not gonna grind it. There we go, got it out. I'm gonna come back up here and take the rest of this hinge out I was telling you about, because working on the other side, it causes the center line to come up. And now it's ready. I'm gonna grind that a little harder. It's ready to take the hinge out. And come on this side. I'm gonna start cutting across them over here. Also, I don't think I've ever mentioned this. I don't know why I haven't. I might have. But I use 2 different grinders. I use one that's coarse, and I'm going to show you one I use, and then I use one that's real fine. I use the one that's coarse. This is it right here. When I'm trying to turn this edge back this way, I go down like that. I got a sharp edge. I just want to roll it back to me. If I can hit it, it'll help. Well, I finally hit it. But anyway, and then I use my fine one. I'll show you what I use it. I'll get this set up just right. We'll use the fine one. A little overhang here. I might have to get my pressure flaker to get it out. I think it's ready. This is a fine grit. I just run it a couple of times. I'm gonna try to run this all the way across. This is bad area right here, bad area right here. So what I'm gonna do is try to come out right through there. For doing that, I need to hit this way. It all came out. A little spot right there and a little spot right there. And those are so little I can pressure plate them out without any problem at all. Didn't grind much. Didn't run much material off. Now when I'm hitting like this, I'm missing a lot. I'm hitting my pad right in front of it. Because at this point, I gotta split that edge. And I work my way up to it a little at a time so I don't hit too high up above it and break the point. Like right there. Right there we go. And gradually sliding into it. Now I'm building me a platform up. Take the smooth one, one little drag on it. Let me show you what that did. You got it so flat right through there. Got a little ridge right here. And I'm not even gonna grind it. See what come off by not grinding it. Watch this. You can grind it. Now look how flat that is right in there. Now it's high over here. And I'll lower that in a minute. Got some little problem areas that are high right in here. And on this side, there's two swipes on the. I might need to swap to a smaller billet, and I think I will, smaller diameter. And because I should be having some stuff that's running further than what I am. This ought to go halfway with a smaller billet. Exactly what I said. Went a little over halfway. That's the only learning curve you really have with these hollow copper billets, is knowing when to reduce your size down. Because they're so light, it looks like you go heavier, but you don't. The narrower it gets, the steadier it gets, you want to go to smaller ones. Right here we're fixing to take out. Run a plate right across there. I'm gonna lower this, narrow this base some. Make me a little isolated platform right here. I'm just barely scraping the side of it to turn it over. I'm gonna use a rough grinder to finish turning it over. And I'm gonna hit it and try to run one all the way across. I didn't go all the way across. Went 3/4 of the way, so now I'm gonna come up on this, hit it right there, and that looks real good. Did what I wanted to either way. Now, probably wasn't supposed to be to go all the way across. It wasn't meant to be. Okay. Try to run this one on an angle. Raise this edge up just a little bit. Lightly grind it. Grind it that way too. On this real thin stuff that you don't have to run flakes too far on, like it's not wide across there, you can turn that edge up with this thin grinder. Remember I told you use a heavy one to turn the edge up? With these little thin edges, you can curl them up. Make that with this thin one. Fine grinder is what I'm trying to say. You make it thin with the fine grinder. There we go. Okay, we want one right here. We're gonna finish it up right here, I hope. Be ready for pressure flaking. Making sure that edge is turned down, but I don't want to turn it too far down. Great one. make a good turn there. If I use my heavy grinder, worked out okay. We're high right in here. We're great on this side. I'll pressure flake that out, and everything else will pressure flake out. So anyway, that's part 2 of working a big old thick Georgetown nodule. It's about 4 inches thick, and I knocked the spalls off. Here's another spall I knocked off of it. I think I'll go ahead and work it down. Then I knocked a whole bunch of little ones. There's one there. Let's work this one. Already got that wiped out pretty good. Here's some more of them that come off. I put them in this bucket here. So anyway, I'm gonna start off with this size billet on it because it's got some thick edges on it. I'm not trying to move any long distance material. What I'm doing is trying to get platforms set up. I'm gonna go all the way around it and try to get my ducks lined up before I plan the strategy. This is no good here, so I'm gonna take all this out. That's just waste. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it hard on top and break it out. All right, I'm starting to get something shaped here. Now I'm gonna go to a heavier billet. And probably what I'm gonna do is set up a platform right here, right on this end of it. I'm gonna try to drive one. I'm gonna grind it hard. I'm gonna try to drive one. If we can see here, right down through here. I wonder if that's showing up. Yeah, right through there. I don't want it going here. I'm gonna have to hit this way. And I think I'm gonna go to a bigger one. Yeah, shoot. I think I'll use Big Bertha on this. This one's Big Bertha. All the way to there. Now I'm gonna come around this saw. Notice I didn't grind anything. The reason I didn't grind anything, I hit up higher up. I hit on a thick area. Didn't have to grind it. Big Bertha thin it out real quick. She's a rock mover. She's a heavy duty machine. And if you say, hey, you're not grinding and you're just watching, I told you, I'm hitting up here, I'm not hitting right on the edge, so I don't have to grind it. See how thick that is? I hit way up on it, I didn't hit on the edge. If I was hitting on the edge, it wasn't real thick, I'd be grinding it. Now I'm gonna grind this, because it's not real thick. There we go. Let's see, I'm gonna try to take another one out right through here. Then I'm gonna put Big Bertha back in the cage where she belongs. We're gonna cage her up. Try to run it right through there where that ink line is. Took the ink line out. All right, baby, you get up there in your pen. Now I'm gonna go to this side. We got a ridge. This is probably gonna be the base. And it curves over like this. We got a ridge through there. So I got plenty of width, so I'm gonna make me an isolated platform over here and try to run that out, knock all that out. Last video I did on beginner flint knife showed how to set your platforms up and angles to use to do something like this. I'm gonna come right through there. This piece, actually it came out just like that. It went that far. and took that ridge out. Now I'm gonna run one right here, and I'm gonna hit hard on it. I'm gonna barely hit down. I only run it like to there. That's all I needed to. And that's another thing about flint knapping. After a while, you learn how hard to hit something and what size hammer you need. A lot of times you don't want to run a flake but maybe a quarter of an inch or half an inch. And the angle you hit on it has a lot to do with that. If you're hitting down like this, it's just going to run a little way. Whether you hit hard or not, it don't matter how hard you hit, it ain't going to go just a little way. All right, this is getting to be like a big old flat saucer or something. And what I think, I'm going to sell this like it is. I'm going to knock this off and run one through here. And then I'm going to put it in my preform. I got a bunch of preforms I'm fixing to sell. I got some of the prettiest Buffalo River and Novaculite and coastal stuff. I got a bunch of Novaculite and Nova. The kind I used to get back 40 years ago or longer. I mean, it's some of the prime stuff. Come out of Mr. Wallace's old quarry when I first started working there. I was the first person to ever work at quarry. Me and Joe Collins, I found it. Me and Joe was buddies, and we went up there and started working it. And Joe sold to Native Way. He sold a mini piece of Novaculite out of that quarry. And this is some of the original stuff that I've got now. I got a hinge right there, and I'm trying to knock it out that way. I had to change my angle, that's why I kept hitting so hard. Trying to keep breaking it down until I got it out. There's a big old place where the edge crushed on it. I'm gonna come across here, big old nice thinning plate. Got one right up here, I'm gonna take care of it. And I'm gonna sell this. I'm fixing to sell another spot. I'm fixing to sell this right here. I'm gonna get this out. It's nothing to get out, it's just a hump. I'm trying to make it uniform. And I'm gonna sell it there. Okay, there we go. Put that in my preform box. All right, here's another piece that come out of it. Now, I had this question asked to me all the time. This is a good piece right here. Perfect example. This is what we want. How thin can a piece be you do percussion work on? That is a razor edge. You can see daylight through that thing. And over here it's thick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit straight in like this. And just chip that, make all kind of little hinges. Just chip that little razor edge off. There we go. Now I'm gonna come over here where it's thick. And I need to start right here where it's thin. And this is a square edge. And I'm gonna do what we call a back and forth method, a flip-flop method. Some people call it flip-flopping. Some call it zigzagging. Get that square edge off. And you notice I'm being very, very careful to hit just the edge. I'm gonna come back this way. I'm gonna move back towards it. I'm gonna kind of meet it in the middle. One more little place. There we go. Now I'm gonna knock all this off, hitting straight into it. I lost my swing come down, knocked me a notch out right there. I hit here and then it skipped down into it, more straight into it. I mean more of an angle, not straight into it. That's why it knocked that chunk out. All right, this is the, oh shoot. The cone left here where the fracture was. Big old hump right there. And We got to get this out without breaking the rest of the rock. So I set me a good platform up, grind it heavy, and go with a bigger billet. I'm going to place it here because I want my hand given, and I don't want to mess that other side up by shocking it where to break. Just about got it out. I'm working both sides into the middle. And there we go. Now I got me a good platform. Now all of this is hollow. It's scooped in, so I only need to move this off right around here. So I'm going to be real careful. I'm not going to grind the edges too hard because I don't want to move much material. I'm kind of hit straight down so it won't move much. Lightly grind the edges. I'm going to hit more down like this. Now look and see how much come off. Didn't quite as much come off on this end as I wanted to, but that's okay. Come back and do it again. Raise my edge back up. You can lower your edge too much. I don't care what anybody says. If you lower it too much, you're going to have an overhang. You got to have it below center. Sometimes you don't need it much below center. Now we're getting somewhere. Let me work over this side. I'm kind of isolating me a pretty big platform here. Got like a 1/4 inch platform isolated. I'm going to try to come right across here and get that rolling ridge out. And it came out right there. Now I got a rolling ridge here I need to get out. I'm just kind of hitting straight down to get this one out. Probably going to take 2 or 3 passes on it. But I'm not putting much pressure on it when I'm hitting on it. The odds of me breaking it are a lot less. Now I got it set up to come back on this side. And you notice I hadn't, the side that's got the razor edge on it, I hadn't hit on it at all. Now I'm truck driving long plates across through there. I might do it again. I'm gonna raise this edge up because I don't want it too low. Because I just run some plates off of it, I left it a little low. Now I'm gonna come down and drop it just a little bit. I'm just barely skimming it. Well, it's taking so many little taps here. Now I'm gonna use this one to turn the edge. That's a lot better. Still got this little ridge. Now I'm gonna come back and hit straight down. The little ridge is just about gone. A little high right in there, but that's okay. Not hurting the thing. And now I'm gonna come on this side and work. Now even it up, I'm hitting almost straight down. Just making it narrow, just whittling away at it. Got kind of a lopsided base here, it's going that way. Wop hit it. Now I'm gonna lightly grind, just barely brush it one time. I'm gonna come this way, and this way. Now I didn't hit on this end over here. I'm gonna have to grind it a little harder because it's got a little step fracture right there. See if I can jump through it, and I didn't. I tried to jump through that step fracture, that's why I ground it harder. So I'm gonna do it harder with this and see if I can get to it this time. Nope. I'm hitting up on it trying to knock it out. Might take a bunch of blows, it just come out, it's gone. Now we go back and we look again, and I said, well, hey Cat, how you doing? Come on in here, buddy. What you running for? You scared or something? Yeah. Cat just showed up. Must be the neighbors. Boy, he seen me and he took off. Okay, I'm gonna run this like a flute. Just like I'm gonna flute it. I'm gonna hit right here. And this is what I hope will come out by striking right there. Draw a pin line on what come out. I didn't get quite a quarter of an inch right there, an eighth of an inch really. But I can skip over now and knock it out. There we go. We'll drop down to a smaller one. I'm gonna now bring the base in a little narrow. I can run some across this way. Get grind right there because I just want to set me up an isolated platform for what I'm doing. There we go. Now we're gonna grind. That one went halfway across. I was afraid I might have went to a lighter billet too soon. I can always tell by how good my platform is, and I know how far a flake should run if I hit it right. So I set that platform up for that flake, and if it don't run as far as I think it did, should, it means I need to change more than likely the size of my billet. Now sometimes I could hit the angle wrong, and that could be the problem, but most of the time it's the weight of my billet I'm using. I got a lot of mass right now I need to try to get out. So I'm gonna spend a little time tapping straight down, just barely running this edge. It's like a sewing machine going up and down. You don't see much coming off, but it's coming off, I promise you. You can kind of see them falling every now and then. I'm gonna grind this one pretty hard. I got to jump this where this flute come out. I got to run it across there, and I really need to jump that. So I'm gonna bust that baby pretty hard. I did it that time. I changed my angle. This time it only went right there, and I changed my angle and jumped everything. I moved up just a little bit, and it got it all. So now I'm gonna make my platform here, and see if I can run it that way and take all that out. Now we're on the thin side, and the thin side's thin, and you don't want to hit the thin side hard if it's thin, and you don't want to grind it hard because it's thin. It's so thin in here, if you grind it too hard, I'm gonna grind it this way instead of making a platform. If you grind it too hard, it'll break right down there if you hit on it. And it's gonna push it like I'm pushing in. Did pretty good. Got some bad spots here, but that ain't no problem either. That didn't work. Sometimes you feel like a nut, and sometimes you don't. I don't know why that didn't work. I'm thinking of one reason that it might not work. This little billet might have been too light for the mass I was trying to move. We'll see. I think I'm gonna jump up to one that's got a longer handle on it. I got a little more control over it. There we go. I got out on the end of it and did more like a bullwhip, and it worked good. I quit the pushing. There we go. All that booger stuff's out of there. I got to stick with this one too. Still got hinges here and hinges over here. I would have quit a long time ago. As soon as I got the big fat part down, I would have quit on and started pressure flaking. I'm just trying to show you that you can, percussion, work the thin part of it too. Now we got a hinge here. I'm gonna hit straight down, up high. It took that hinge out. And it got all of it there. I'm gonna try to run this one. If I can hit it. No. Too much mass was hinged on me. This was just too light to move that mass. So this is a good lesson. How do you get a hinge out? I got two major hinges on both sides, right here and here. Will make me a platform. I'm gonna come right through that. And right down on the other side. I'm gonna bring the platform up. I don't want it real low because I gotta get a pretty good bit of mass. I don't want to hit nothing right there, so we'll knock that out of the way. There's the line, and the hinge is gone, except just a fraction of it right there. I can pressure flake that out, see it's not even funny, so let's try this one here now. See if we can have good luck on this one. I'm gonna raise the edge up on it. And down here, just raising it up. On a good strong edge. Got everything knocked out of the way. Went right down it. So this is pressure flake out this way and this way. And we have no flakes here. No patterns here, but all that of pressure flaking there just as pretty as it can be. I'm gonna break it on down there real quick. Round it. Rounding is the best thing to do when it's real thin. Like a football or a pumpkin or a watermelon. Make it oval shape. And that's what I'm doing here. Okay, that's what we did. There's proof form. Hope y'all enjoyed it. This is part 2. We're working a Georgetown nodule. It's about 4 inches wide.